Well, this is the last time we're going to see it. Goes to its owner tomorrow. They're going to come and pick it up. Yeah, I'm going to miss this one. But time to let it go, I think. I don't want to spend any more time or money working on it. I'd rather work on something else. Right, good morning. It is the morning after. They picked up the 250 RS. Yes, I got my money, well, I got money for it. I've lost money on the bike, quite a bit of money, I guess. But, you know what, I would have lost more money if I'd kept it, because I would have just kept it at the back of the garage or whatever. And I'd eventually revisited it, but, you know, I'm not using it. And while it's still got a valid MOT and everything, and, you know, you can say, look, it was recently on the road, that's the easiest time to sell it, pretty much. So they took it away. They're gonna redo it. It only took, I think it took about 20 days to sell, something like that. So it wasn't that slow. It's quite quick. That was actually quite quick, I guess, a quick sell. And I got pretty much the money I wanted for it. So I was like, you know what, I'd like this, but you don't ask, you don't get. But I'd take this, and that's what we ended up with. So happy-ish all round. Okay, I lose a bit of money, but I would have lost more money if I'd revisited it later on, because I could have easily chopped the tail off and made it into a cafe racer, which would have been quite neat. That would have been really neat. So I've done that. That's gone, and the Grand Challenge for me is finished. No more Grand Challenge. It's finished. I will tally my scores up in a bit. But do I think the Grand Challenge works is the question. And, like, can you pick up a bike cheaply to go trail riding, to do some lanes, and then when it's done, get rid of it, essentially? Yes, because I've done it twice. My first trail bike, and you have to, like, be a subscriber for many, many years, and you have to know me for a long time, but my first trail bike was a Honda C90, just a standard Honda Cub, and then I took the Honda Cub and put knobbies on it. But literally my first trail bike was just a standard Honda Cub, which was a cheap bike at the time. Okay, they're no longer cheap, and thrashing it off-road and stuff probably be a bit monstrous, but yeah, I absolutely just thrashed that bike off-road. Snapped the exhaust, oh, you know, everything came loose, handlebars, everything was rattled loose. Handlebars were doing that by the end of the day, and there was a massive play on it between left and right. Everything just came loose. Yeah, so Honda C90 was my first trail bike. But if you think about Phil 480, he did the Grand Challenge, essentially, unofficially, but a few years ago, and his first trail bike was a Derby Terror he picked up for, I can't remember how much. Maybe you can go check out his channel. I'll put a link to his channel below, maybe, or one of his videos. But his Derby Terrier 125, whatever, he picked up for cheap, stuck some knobbies on it, and from that experience, he decided, I like this trail riding, I'm gonna get another bike. And then he ended up buying a clapped out Honda CRF 250, which is actually, as of date of recording, is around 10 years old, when it was first registered by me, the original owner. So that bike is 10 years old. It's got over 30,000 miles on the clock, and it's had a hard life, and it's still going. So yeah, that just proves a testament to Honda that it's had a lot of abuse and it's still going. Right then, let's go tally the scores up on this Grand Challenge. See how many points I got. Okay, now I'm back in my humble abode, and I've got the computer open. I can see, I've got my spreadsheets open. I can see how much everything has cost. So the cost of the bike is a grand total of, it was £400 for the bike plus all the repairs. Gives me a grand total of £791. Let's make it £792, but it was £791.78, which is really good considering everything, and that includes everything, including the MOT. Did not include vehicle tax because it's tax exempt, and it did not include the insurance, but everything else is there. Yeah, not too bad at all. I cannot grumble, really. So I came in under cost.
under cost of the Grand Challenge. So say 792. That gives me 208 points to get going, which is good. 208 points. And yeah, throughout the past few months or whatever, you've seen me use that bike on road, off road, camping trips, all that stuff. So let's just have a little quick rundown of what I did. So I did a TRF ride out, which gives you 50 points just for that, plus all the little green lanes that I did. So yeah, at 20 points a green lane, and I did 23, that gives me like 460 points. I did 5 castles in a day, that gives me 100 points. That was actually quite a nice little ride. Went to places that I didn't know existed, and kind of wish that I did more research on them before I arrived, because the last one I really wanted a coffee, and their cafe was shut. One rudish place name, which Nathan Millwood gave me 50 points for. That was very nice. Now, I only did 2 of the RAC call boxes. I really wanted to do... Sorry, the AA call boxes, not the RAC ones. I did the AA. I was planning to go see some RAC ones and some other AA ones this year, but unfortunately, because the bike stopped working, I did not actually go to see any of them at all. And then, of course, I went to ride to see a friend, 50 points. And I had about 3 little roadside breakdowns, which were just roadside repairs, which were 50 points each. And one of them was the rear rack. Basically, the rear rack decided to snap, and I just zip tied it back up again. My exhaust, I was at the Saddlebags ride beginning of this year. I didn't think I was going to make it, because the bike was completely untested for like long distance. Like, this is not going to make it, but it did, and it got me back. And then it started playing wrong, started messing up a bit, but whatever. The exhaust came loose, the whole end can just rattled itself loose, which was, oh dear. And then a throttle, so I had to rebolt that up. Luckily we were at a stop, and it was quite a cold day, so the exhaust cooled off quite quickly, but yeah, it was still blinking hot. And then I had to use the my throttle, and I got a sticky throttle, and I thought, oh, it must be a cable. It was a cable. It wasn't rubbing. It just wasn't staying in its normal place. So I had to like zip tie it onto the carb, onto the top of the carburetor. There's like a spinny wheel bit where the throttle A and B cables go, and I can't remember which one it was, A or B. One of them was not returning properly. So I was like, okay, well, this is an issue. But a zip tie, I'm not going to change that cable. I actually had the spare ones. I had a whole set of spare cables with me, just in case one of the cables were gonna go, because these are like 40-year-old cables, I think, at this point. So did not want to chance it. So I had a whole set of cables with me, and yeah, I never had to use them, but I've given them to the new owner so he can strip it all down and he can change it if he wants. So I did it probably just under 800 miles, maybe 1,000 miles, about, through the few months, and did quite a bit on it. Not too bad. I'm going to miss this bike, but at the same time, I have bikes that do the exact same job, maybe slightly better, just a bit different. They get me there in a different way. But yeah, the BMW is just such a do-it-all bike for me, and I really don't need really anything else, ideally, really. But we do like to have a bit of variety on this channel. And if you'd like to see some of that more variety, then please stay subscribed, I guess. And if you did enjoy this series, give it a like, comment, whatever. But this is the end of the Grand Challenge for me. But I'm very happy, I guess, with my total score of 1,168. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. I am very happy with that. I also have maybe a couple more points to get, but we'll see if Nathan Millwood's going to do like a finale sort of thing for this, because unfortunately his bike kind of died, and he hasn't posted anything about it since. He's had a bad year for breakdowns, so I can't really blame him. He was doing that one trip, and his actual poor old Dorothy, the CT, decided to lock up, and the engine seized. So yeah, he's had a bad year for breakdowns, I guess. So have I, in just weird breakdowns as well. Anyway, so that really is it. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah, and I'll catch you in the next video, whatever that will be. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.